Hello and welcome to Beyond NSU. I am your host, Tressa Hundley, and today our guest is Miss Shinese Collins, a certified coach, author, and speaker who equips women to overcome their fears, optimize their brilliance, and develop the right kind of confidence to build a powerful personal brand. She is the CEO and founder of the Powerful and Polished Presenters and a 1993 graduate of Norfolk State University. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, since you're a graduate of Norfolk State, can you tell me, prior to coming to NSU, what made you want to enroll here?
Actually, I'm from New York City,
Oh.
and I wanted to go to a HBCU. I thought about North Carolina because that's where my family's from, but I also thought about uncles showing up on campus. So NSU seemed a little more appealing. It was further away, and it really made me just gain my independence.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what was it like when you were here as a student?
It was a shock because growing up in New York City, it was the melting pot. So I had all different ethnicities, and coming here, it was really, you were with a lot of African American people. So it was pretty shocking, but it was good. I learned a lot more about myself and just about the culture in a whole.
Okay, that's wonderful. So when you were here versus back then to now and coming back to the campus, what has changed?
It's a totally different campus. Walking across today, I just couldn't believe all of the new buildings and the different things that have happened to the campus since I was here. There was no football stadium or any of that. So we played at Old Dominion when I was here. So just a lot of growth, and it's great to see that so much has happened in the last 20 plus years.
As being a 93 graduate, though, I'm sure that there's been a lot of development in the curriculum that you were in. What was your major here?
I was an accounting major.
Oh, wow.
Actually, was an accounting major in high school. So I went to vocational high school and carried it on to Norfolk State. By junior year, I doubted if I wanted to be an accounting major. However, it was too late because my parents said they were not going to pay for any more past the 4 years. So I had to, stick with the accounting.
Oh, okay. All right. And so, as an accounting major, what made you transition into what you're doing now, and what would that be now?
Okay. Now I'm labeled a senior marketing manager, but I'm on the operations side of marketing. So I have done tactical marketing with TV commercials, print ads, billboards, that kind of thing. But I'm more on the product side of marketing now, so the operations of the internet product and the telephone product for the local cable company.
Okay. So to revisit back as being a student here, was there ever a moment that you had to face any strong adversity while
Absolutely.
you were here?
Definitely. There were some instances, of course, with classes you're struggling through and you and the professor just don't see eye to eye. So I had a couple of those where I questioned if I was going to make it out of a class. At one particular time, I thought that we were going to end up, before the dean or somebody because it was just a struggle. But afterwards, it turned out to be one of the best teachers I had. She was tough. She was really tough, and she worked you hard, and it paid off. But at the time, I just felt like she singled me out, and, she was after me. But she was just trying to make me grow.
That's wonderful. And I think that's the difference that we have here at Norfolk State is that we do have caring professors, that they are actually here for us and would love for us to learn and develop, especially in our craft. And so has that been able to, that lesson there, has that prepared you for your career path that you're on now?
In some ways it has. She was probably the person who made me understand that you must know how to communicate verbally as well as watch your body language. So make sure that the things are connected. So don't say one thing, but your body is telling somebody something else. And she was big about that. So I would say that carried throughout my career.
Oh, okay. So tell me about your company, where it's Powerful and Polished Presenters.
Correct.
Tell me about your company.
So I was terrified for giving presentations. I know we take public speaking in college,
Yes.
but in a corporate setting, there's not too many people where I work that look like me in management. So having to present to a bunch of folks that don't look like me is not very comfortable. And I just didn't like to do it. I could prepare the presentation, give it to my bosses, and let them do it. But me present it, no ma'am. I wanted to throw up. I was shaking. I was sick to my stomach. And finally, one day, my boss was on vacation and they needed the data. And I had to go in that room and I just knew I was going to die. And I didn't, of course. And afterwards, I did ask for feedback, how did I do? And at that point, they said, we need to see you more. And I'm just like, are you crazy? But I started to watch other people present and talk to my boss about how do I develop that skill even more. And once I felt comfortable doing it, then I said I needed to pay it forward because I know a lot of people struggle with that. And it is actually a true fear. It's called glossophobia, and people truly do struggle with it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So what are some of the common lies, myths, misconceptions about presenters or presentations?
People get hung up on the data. Yeah, you have to present what you're talking about, but presentations is more than just data. It is you and your body language. It is you and your verbal communication. It is you sometimes with written communication if you're using PowerPoint slides or things of that nature. But you have to be comfortable in all of those aspects. So you have to find your place. You have to own your space. Even if you just only have a few steps, you have to make sure that you operate within that space and have people looking at you, hanging on to your every word. So engage the audience. So presenting is more than just the slides. It's a whole total package. It's how you look, it's how you talk, it's how you interact, how you engage, and how you deliver that material.
Oh, okay. And at the same time, overcome your fears. Right. Okay. So what is the number one reason that most people fail to succeed with advancing with their success?
Because they're not able to give a polished presentation. And when you're presenting, you're not just presenting data, you're presenting yourself. So if you enter into a conversation with someone, and let's say it's the vice president, you happen to be on the elevator with him, if you can't give your 30-second to a minute elevator speech without stumbling all through it and you can't get past your name, then you've left the impression of, well, I don't need to talk to that person because you haven't made them want to find out more about you. So how you present you is going to carry you a long way.
So how does a person go about doing that with actually being able to build up to that?
It takes a lot of practice, but you can do it on your own. You could get a coach. But some of it, you can do it just by watching other people. So, TED Talks, you can watch a lot of those on YouTube. If there's someone who's your favorite speaker, watch how they deliver material. Watch their body language, watch their tone, watch their facial expressions, and videotape yourself. I know people don't like to watch themselves. They don't like to hear themselves talk, but you need to watch how you come across on video because you'll pick up on things that you need to change.
Okay. All right. And so tell me, what led you to writing your book and being that you're an author, Resilient on Purpose? What led you to writing this book?
Unfortunately, it was tragedy. I had 3 deaths in my family in a 30-day period. And it started with my mom late that January. My grandmother passed the day of my mom's funeral, and then my uncle passed a few weeks after that. So I ended up having to plan 2 funerals, lots of travel within that about 32-day period.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
So you actually have experience here within this book?
Yes.
Okay. And so with this book, you're also coaching.
Yes.
How would people be able to contact you and reach you?
Okay. I am definitely on Facebook at Coach Shinese Collins, on Instagram at Coach Shinese, and I have a website, resilientonpurpose.life.
Okay. Well, that is all the time we have for Beyond NSU. I would like to thank our guests for joining us today. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm your host, Tressa Hundley. Take care.